If you love playing video games, then you must have played one or more video games that are just so much fun that you can't help but wonder, how does this miracle of a game comes to be? Game design is not an easy task, and there are a lot of factors to make a game more than just fun. To make it immersive, elevating, make us feel emotions and connections in ways that other media just could not do. Hi, I'm Joe, and I'll be using Devil May Cry 5, the latest iteration of the Devil May Cry series, as an example to explain the MDA Framework, the importance of having a vision, a game feel, and coherency. Let's get started. Way back in 2004, Robin Huenick, Mark LeBlanc, and Robert Zubek came together to write an academic paper featuring a framework called MDA, a formal approach to game design and game research. This was used by many game designers to analyze or research games and help us to create a more engaging and immersive game. MDA is separated into three fundamental components: mechanics, dynamics, and aesthetics. Let's start with mechanics. Mechanics is basically about how the game works, from the rules, game system, what the buttons do, or even stats. For example, Dante has a weapon switching mechanic where it allows him to switch his melee weapons and ranged weapons from a sword, gauntlets and boots, a bike, a hat, pistol and RPGs, a shotgun, or a three-handled nunchucks that double as a bow staff that triples as a three-section staff, all whilst in combat. And these are only in the 5th game. There's so much more. Or the Devil Trigger mechanic that allows Dante to transform into his demon form, and he is able to heal his health, do more damage, and make him unflinchable by attacks at the expense of his Devil Trigger gauge. Next, dynamics. Dynamics is about how the player act or behave in response to the mechanics. Let's use the Devil Trigger mechanic again. Whilst in the Devil Trigger form, players can act more aggressively or offensively towards their foes without worrying about dying, because they can heal and do more damage at the same time. And lastly, aesthetics. Aesthetics is all about how the players feel about the dynamics. How does the player feel when acting in this way? Back to the Devil Trigger example. Because they can act aggressively whilst in the Devil Trigger form, players can feel overpowered and invincible in the faces of their foe. Like Superman, until he got stabbed in the heart and dies, but hey, he comes back alive, so it still counts. Now, game designers can't directly control the players to feel a specific emotion. However, using MDA, it allows them to indirectly control the player's experience by making a fun and engaging game. Game designers only have direct control of the game's mechanic. So, by using the mechanics, game designers can create dynamics, which in turn creates the aesthetics. Conversely, players are immediately familiar with their own emotional response to a game, regardless of whether they are understanding the underlying rules or not. Robin Huenick, Mark LeBlanc, and Robert Zubek wrote this on their paper. From a designer's perspective, the mechanics give rise to the dynamic system behavior, which in turn leads to particular aesthetic experiences. From the player's perspective, aesthetics set the tone, which is borne out in observable dynamics and eventually operable mechanics. In DSA-5, Dante, Virgil, Nero are generally offensive, close or mid-range characters that attack with their swords and guns, or freaking head, to do a fast and close combat, and encouraging an offensive playstyle that makes the player feel powerful and cool. On the other hand, the new character V, unlike the others, has a more passive playstyle. He uses his summons to help fight his battles, whilst he waits for an opportunity to deal the final blow. This cautious defensive playstyle makes the players feel more fearful to the enemy's attacks, and feel less powerful compared to when playing the other characters. As you can see, by changing the mechanics, players will automatically act differently and feel differently in response to the game mechanics. However, different mechanics invokes different emotions, and in games, normally there are hundreds or thousands of game mechanics depending on the scope of the game. Therefore, a single vision for the entire game is necessary for the game to be more consistent on the feeling they want to invoke. A vision is the overall feeling that you want the players to feel while playing the game. If it's a horror game, then players should feel fright. Or if it's a relaxing game, then players should feel calm and relaxed. A vision could be a statement, a fantasy, or an experience. In the DMC series, the vision that the creator of DMC, Hideaki was looking for is coolness through combat. Using this vision as a compass, all the mechanics, settings, character design, world, themes, music, and story was created to produce the coolness that makes the players feel excited, fascinated, and most importantly, stylish. A strong vision in mind can help designers to evaluate game design decisions in terms of story, music, game mechanics, sound effects, environment, etc. The music in DMC5 is no different. Offering a hardcore rock or metal music helps solidify the cool and edgy elements of the game. In addition to that, the music is also reflective of the situation, characters, and story. Not only that, but the sound effects in the game also further amplifies the emotion, the excitement when you pull off something cool, thereby creating a good game feel. Examples like one of Nero's ability, Exceed, where you can charge your sword by timing the strike of an attack with another button press, or the parrying sound when your attacks and the enemy's attacks clash together, or even when you block perfectly or attack perfectly with Royal Guard, or the Devil Trigger. Without a good game feel, most games would not be as fun as they are, and DMC5 is no exception to that. Game feel design is an intentional design of the effective impact of the moment-to-moment interactions between the player and the video game. There are three means of creating a good game feel: by achieving an on-point real-time control, a logical spatial simulation that makes sense within the game, and the polishing of any interactions with the players to make the feedbacks feel more empowered, like the parrying thing. Sounds nice, right? Clash sounds between the swords can make players feel like they did something cool. A well-made game feel can help players to be integrated into the game and feel like they are part of it. The seamless movement, attacks, awareness, understanding of the world, the nature of the game world itself has become second nature to the players. And the sound effects, visual effects, the real-time control, spatial simulation, and the environmental effects, like when Nero throws Goliath into the building and it just breaks down and collapses. Game feel allows the game designers to control minute details of interactivity and inform the player's reaction. Together with game feel, a coherency within a video game is also very important as it allows players to seamless integration into the game. Coherency is basically when the players feel like they're able to do this. It should do this. Coherency is that suspension of disbelief that hinges upon coherent application of rules, like when Nero can grab Virgil as he was flying into him with Devilbringer, preparing thing again, or attacking enemies with taunts. However, generally games that relies on doing combos is just full of coherency to begin with, as every move and ability have many ways to be combined, utilized, or even broken to create an even more stylish combos. A good game can allow the players to innovate and feel like they have created something of their own. That innovation itself is the essence of the stylish combos, and is one of the many reasons why DMC5 is such a good game. In conclusion, MDA Framework lets the game designers to create mechanics that creates the dynamics, thereby affecting the aesthetics. A vision is important as it is the compass to guide the game designers to create a game with a specific feeling they want to invoke. Game feel can make or break the game depending on how well it is done, and coherency makes the players feel innovative. This is all I want to talk about. The references and academic papers I found whilst researching for this video are in the description below. Check it out, it's a really interesting read. Thank you for watching, goodbye.